Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. My name is Sebastián Vázquez. I am 15 years old, and today I want to talk to you about an important subject many unfortunately seem to ignore pollution. When I was younger, I would see garbage almost everywhere I went. Old gum stuck on the sidewalk, plastic bags floating in the air, empty beer cans in the water, on the streets, on the sidewalks. Trash, trash, and more trash. I have to admit, I thought it was normal to see garbage everywhere, and I really didn't know the effect garbage has in our environment. Now, I know that I am unfortunately somewhat correct in thinking that garbage is normal, but it has to end now. I want you to know what problems it causes and that there is a way to end this, but this will require a huge amount of teamwork. So if you think the others will handle it, then what are you doing? You, we, everyone needs to act. When you hear the word pollution, what comes to your mind? You might think of sick animals, dirty water, contaminated air, or even litter. But that's not the worst part of it. Pollution refers to the disposal of harmful chemicals to the environment. Garbage causes air and water pollution. It can flow to the sea, to the rivers or lakes, and can accumulate through time. Garbage often contains toxic chemicals, many of which threaten aquatic life and pollute the water, which not only affects us, but affects sea creatures, fish, and wildlife. Did you know that every year 1.2 trillion gallons of waste are dumped into the ocean? One example of an animal affected by this is the sea turtle. There have been numerous reports of sea turtles eating plastic wastes, commonly plastic bags. That's right, plastic bags, the ones used when going to the market. Why do you think the turtles do this? Well, the sea turtles' diet includes jellyfish and algae, one of their favorite things to eat, and plastic bags look very similar to them. Now, I talked about water pollution, but there's also air pollution. Amongst those affected, we have the children, who make up 10% of the population, forcing them to deal with 40% of the enemy that is global disease. Cancer, chronic respiratory disease, these are diseases that come from air pollution, which, according to the World Health Organization, it is estimated to kill 7 million people every year. How much pollution is caused by cities, you may wonder? Well, UN Habitat reported that cities consume 78% of the world's energy and produce more than 60% of the greenhouse gas emissions. As a result, many negative effects are found in the urban areas. We know garbage is filthy and it emits strong, terrible odors. Furthermore, it can rot and therefore become a breeding ground for disease carriers like rats and cockroaches. It can even clog drain pipes and therefore result in flooding. Aside from littering within the cities, there is also burning fossil fuels, which they do in order to produce energy, which in turn causes urban populations to be more vulnerable to the effects of climate change. Pollution can be anywhere, from the dirty streets of New York to your neighborhood. It causes many health problems like respiratory issues, allergies, sight problems, and it affects our drinking water and our soil to grow food and even cause the extinction or endangerment of species. How else do you think sea turtle sightings are rare today? There are many ways to stop this everlasting chaos. The solution? Choose one and start there. Like avoid burning fossil fuels, turn off hardware at your house when not in use, avoid using your car often, keep your tires inflated, and reduce your use of plastic. While I'm talking about that, that is also another big problem of pollution. Plastic. Plastic is a major contributor to pollution, which is why simply reducing your use of plastic goes a long way. Plastic production requires a huge amount of energy and resources. This results in carbon emissions, which contribute to global warming. To add on, there have been several compounds and chemicals found in plastic, like BPA, and these have negative health effects on humans, including hormone alteration. Therefore, recycling is something not to be ignored. It has multiple positive effects on our environment and our lives because it results in saving energy. It reduces greenhouse gas emissions and it helps tackle climate change. Unfortunately, recycling is not efficient with plastic because recycling plastic requires a huge amount of resources and huge amounts of water. And in fact, only 9% of all plastic ever produced has actually been recycled. However, something not many people realize is that it is possible to live without plastic. If you think about it for a bit, plastic causes more problems than it fixes. Remember I mentioned turtles erroneously consume plastic bags? So if we stop using plastic, we could save hundreds of thousands of marine species, not only from ingestion, but from entanglement. Pollution can stop anytime, and that starts with you if you choose to participate in this daily war against impurity. Because if you don't try to end this, who else will? We only have one planet, and how long it will stay alive depends on what we do today. So when you see a used napkin or an empty soda can on the road or a plastic bag floating around, remember at that exact moment that the future of planet Earth is in your hands. It is in my hands. Actually, it is in everyone's hands. Remember that the Earth is getting closer every day to complete destruction. And if we don't stop, flowers may never bloom again, and we might never see another sunset. Fight pollution if you want to create a better tomorrow, because if you don't, who will? Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of your day while the earth is still breathing.